Bernie Sanders has officially bought a fourth house to make sure that the rich people don't get them. Very cool, Bernie Sanders. You are my favorite multi-millionaire communist. Huge W. However, unfortunately, you had to crash out massively and run off of Joe Rogan's podcast because he humiliated you so badly. Now, this is very fun. Incredibly fun. So fun that no one has expected this level of fun. I have never seen a man this humiliated, but it's a good day. It's a good day for fake woke people. Pay no attention to this. AOC with her shirt saying, I'm with the oligarch, and Bernie Sanders with the shirt saying, I'm with stupid. Incredibly real. Now, I wanted to talk about this for several reasons. Bernie Sanders, he has an ideology that I personally find cancerous. Communism is cancer. I don't want to hear about this. Communism is all about taking people that work hard and have dreams and ambitions and fucking cucking them and making them pay for assholes that buy drugs. Okay? I don't like communism. Communism is shit. I don't like it at all. And this dude, motherfucker over here, he's a communist. All right? So, anywho, everyone's saying that he's based. Honestly, if you are under 20 years old and you don't like communism, you have no heart. But if you're over 20 years old and you do like communism, you have no brain. So lock in, boys and girls. We're watching this guy get humiliated. So it all started with him on Joe Rogan. So this is a 1-minute clip of some of the funny moments because obviously we're not going to watch his entire 3-hour episode. However, I wanted to show you a couple of conversations they have where he literally exposes himself as a complete and utter fraud. Now, the thing is, I know a lot of people like Bernie Sanders. Too bad! It's a good day to be me. I don't care. Making enemies. All right, let's go.
Have you prepared for this?
I am well prepared.
What are your thoughts on this?
Epic foreshadowing.
There ain't no easy answers. Let me throw that out to you. I don't have a magical solution. I wish I did. I don't.
All right.
I don't know the answer to the question.
He doesn't know the answer.
It is complicated. I don't have the magic answer.
He doesn't have the answer.
Okay. I don't have the answer to that question.
He doesn't have the answer.
What does it mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? So, and again, please, these are complicated issues. I surely don't have all the answers.
He doesn't have the answers.
What was they saying? Right now, I think, don't quote me on this, maybe in Norway.
So,
all right, I'm gonna plead ignorance.
Plead ignorance. Don't know the answers.
And I wish I had better answers.
I wish I could answer a single question you have, Mr. Rogan.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Make a point, Mr. Sanders.
I cannot tell you.
I cannot tell you. I don't know.
Yes and no. But
would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know
there's so many details. I can't talk about details like this.
I don't know.
I know nothing.
I honestly don't remember. Hate is based on ignorance.
Hate is based on ignorance, he says, as he doesn't know a single answer in the entire podcast. Now, the thing is, Bernie Sanders is sharp of mind. I don't think he's Joe Bidening in real time. However, I do think he's a fraud. I think he's a politician fraud. I'll be honest. I do. I like him better than your Kamala Harris's and AOC and all these other fucking retards out there that are currently in charge of the Democratic Party for some reason because they couldn't find a single capable human being. However, he's a fraud. I'm sorry. Maybe he didn't used to be. Maybe he used to fight for civil rights or something. He went back on every promise he made when Trump aligned with his ideology. Okay, he said Iran can't have a nuke, we should bomb them. Trump said, okay, let's bomb them. And he said, no, wait a second, hold on a second. When I said we should bomb Iran, I obviously didn't mean when Trump was president, of course. And he changed his mind completely, all right? He's so mad that, billionaires are giving money to the Republicans, but way more billionaires gave money to the fucking Democrats. The Democrats had way more billionaires giving money to them because my billionaires are good billionaires, your billionaires are bad billionaires. All right, it's as simple as that. And I'll be honest, this is how everything has been happening. You don't understand. This guy was super pro-deportation. When he was running in 2016, he was talking about how deportation is super important. We have to deport everyone. No illegal immigrants. We have to get them all out of here. And now Trump is doing it. It's a constitutional crisis. I can't believe it. You don't understand. This guy also, and this is one of his famous ones, we need to put tariffs on all these countries. They're taking advantage of us, especially on China. And now Trump puts tariffs and he's like, it's going to kill the economy. It's certainly a tragedy. My riveting analysis is he is a grifter. So lock in, boys and girls, because we're having a really fun time. Before we start, this is Hasan Piker. A lot of you might think he's my arch nemesis. You're incorrect. You're incorrect, because he's going to be in jail within the next few years, and I will have a wonderful life in freedom. So he's not my arch nemesis. He's merely a speed bump on the way to get there. So this is Hasan Piker mauling. He's the largest leftist political streamer. He's also known for maybe having sex with children.
Air right now. Pokemon and Valkyrie will stream with Bernie Sanders on Twitch tonight, yet I'm not punching the air right now. Let's be real, okay?
He wasn't invited! Pokimane and Valkyrae, random irrelevant Twitch women, are doing a collab with Bernie Sanders and they didn't invite him. You know why? You know why they didn't invite him? Cause he's a radical fuck. Hot take.
I am not. I'm excited that they're doing that. Though.
Oh,
It's
you're
good-
sure you
it's good
are?
to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
All right.
All right, let's do something else. Yeah, all right, dog. All right, bro. Maybe it's because you said America deserved 9/11. That was not cool. But don't worry, because he still managed to find a time to meet up with Bernie Sanders. He still found a time to meet up with this man. What a glorious time. Him and Bernie Sanders together. This is so beautiful. It really is. And he even gave him a little toy train to remind him of how his family was probably murdered on trains on their way to Auschwitz in the Holocaust. Which, again, Hasan does not seem to really think is a very big deal because, again, the Holocaust had nothing to do with the Jews, obviously. Obviously not. Now, Bernie Sanders had some quotes that Hasan was very angry about recently. There is no doubt Hamas terrorists started the war. They killed 1,200 innocents and Israel has the right to defend itself. That's what he said because he actually has eyes. And Hasan, he was not happy.
Israel has a right to defend itself against terrorism.
He said something incredibly normal. And Hasan, of course, as this crash out, because that's a pretty Zionistic thing to say.
I think like this will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of fucking Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a fucking rabid neo-Nazi. And you you shouldn't even let someone be the fucking local dog catcher as Felix was posting.
Yes.
If they've ever exhibited any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Yeah, if they've ever exhibited any positive feelings ever, eternal neo-Nazi, put them in the fucking camps. Last time I saw Hasan actually happy, it was October 7th, to be honest. But since then, he's been on a downward spiral. So what a glorious day. They all eat each other. Actual left-on-left violence. Retard cannibalism. Two retards fighting. It's a glorious day. Personally, I think it's hilarious. Once again,
Israel has a right to defend itself against...
And that is when Hasan immediately shot himself in the dick. What a glorious day. But today, we're not only talking about Hasan losing because you don't understand. Hasan is also a communist terrorist supporter. So Hasan actually is very upset. Bernie is like Hasan's favorite guy, even though, he shouldn't be fit to be a dog walker, obviously. So I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. We're humiliating Hasan's idol. We're humiliating Hasan. And more importantly, this grifter gets so exposed. Dude, Joe Rogan isn't like some sort of political sociopath debate lord, okay? He's just an average guy. And he absolutely fucking destroys him. So lock in, boys and girls. This might be the greatest video of all time.
What it says is, you're a billionaire. You have now the constitutional right, because your money is your freedom of expression.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So you
Makes
don't
sense.
like Bernie
I like
Sanders?
freedom.
You can put millions or hundreds of millions of dollars into a campaign and express your view about how terrible Bernie Sanders is.
True. Right.
And you can buy that election, right? That's your constitutional right. I think that's probably the worst decision that the Supreme Court has ever made. So what is the result of that decision?
Okay. All right.
The result of that decision, let's take us to where we are today, is that Elon Musk, and I know Elon was on your show, and he's here in Austin, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And we could talk about Elon, but he spent $270 million to investment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Mic drop. Money going to campaigns is bad, apparently. He's a billionaire. He spent millions of dollars on the campaign. Millions of dollars. That's crazy how it happens. And mic drop. It's over. He cooked the Republican Party is fucked now.
I think that's absurd. That
absurd.
One person...
Money going to a campaign?
What's the most someone donated towards the Harris campaign?
Oh, shit. The most basic amounts of pushback. Oh, God. He gave him minuscule pushback.
They spent a lot of money on Harris as well.
Oh, so you're a complete hypocritical fraud. Thanks, Bernie.
$1.5 billion. Just
Oh, that's 5 times what Elon spent.
over the course of a couple of months.
You got it. All right, let me talk about it. So
Yeah,
I'm not here
let's
just
talk
to say
about
it's a
that.
Republican. That's my point.
Right.
What I'm trying to say is, obviously, Trump is authoritarian. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. This might have been the greatest destruction of all time. He babbles and jabbles and doesn't even actually finish his point. Obviously, his point is retarded. This is good, by the way. I know a lot of you might think this is lame or not good. You're wrong. This is epic. I love watching retards get it. To be fair, he doesn't like Kamala either. I don't care. So, dude, you are missing something incredibly obvious, bro. I don't care if he likes Kamala, if he doesn't like Kamala. But, dude, how could you call Trump some sort of authoritarian dictator and disagree with every policy he says, even when those are policies you yourself pushed, and you call him out for things that your own party pushed? Dog, he blamed Trump for attacking Iran's nuclear sites, but he did not call out Obama for dropping 26,000 bombs, none with congressional approval, okay? So, with all due respect, you can shut the fuck up. He's a grifting shitbag, like almost every politician. But this guy especially got absolutely mega exposed. I can't believe it's an oligarchy. The rich people, they own everything. Elon spent $270 million. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, very true. Anyway, this is one of the things he pushed back on. The second thing he pushed back on was climate change, because, Bernie Sanders was like, climate change, the whole world is going to be destroyed. 2022, that's it. Dunzo. Unless we decide to start eating lettuce, only lettuce. So we're going to be talking about the climate change drama, and then my favorite part, media. He says, how dare Trump attack the media? How dare Trump sue the media? How dare anyone on the right attack anything that the media says? The media is perfect and great, and we love the media. I am not even shitting you. He tries that with Joe Rogan, the guy who is slandered by the media. He gets so humiliated, he has to walk off the podcast early. So anyway, so let's first talk about how hilarious the climate change shit is.
You got to deal with this climate change issue.
You got to.
And I know that, there are some people who think climate change is a hoax. It ain't a hoax.
How do you know?
I think the last 10 years have been the warmest on record. And we can't create...
Yeah, and a couple billion years ago, there was an ice age, so whatever.
...create millions of...
Well, not billions, obviously.
...good-paying jobs, transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency, to solar, to wind, and other sustainable energies.
I think the climate change issue is very complicated. And I think, did you see the Washington Post piece that they wrote where they did this long-term view? First of all, the reality is that the Earth's temperature has never been static, right? We could both agree on that.
True.
It's always been up and down.
Dog, there was an ice age. It was warm as the shit for the dinosaurs, and then it was cold as balls for the ice age. Obviously, there is a spectrum. Now, I'm not saying that climate change isn't real. I'm not saying that global warming isn't a thing and that the ozone layer isn't being destroyed and plastic in the sea isn't bad. I think you're sure, whatever. That's not where I'm going. I don't care. But there are so many more pressing issues than the fact that the sea level might rise an inch in the next decade.
Now there's been ice ages and heat waves. And then the Washington Post looked at it. What was the time period that they looked at? That essentially they found that we're in a cooling period. That the Earth over the past X amount of years, and this was like a very inconvenient discovery, but they had to report the data, and kudos to them for doing that. Scientists have captured the Earth's climate change over the last 485 million years. Here's a surprising place we stand now.
Pretty weird.
So look at the far end of that graph, and you see we're in a cooling period.
Well, I'm not sure.
No,
I didn't read.
Bernie Sanders is not sure. Professional climate expert extraordinaire. Pro of climate and knower of all warmth. What the fuck, bro? Dog, what do you know about the climate? Dude, I hate this so much. It's like, yeah, I have a podcast, so I'm going to explain to you everything that you need to know about geopolitics and warfare. It's like, dog, the fuck do you know about any of this shit? Why are you doing this? Bernie, you know nothing. You know nothing about this, dog.
That article, but
Yeah.
the scientists who are out there, I think.
I know.
The scientists are out there. The scientists have said it. I've never ever heard of a scientist wrong about anything in my life.
But there's a lot of money involved in that too, Bernie. That's part of the problem. There's a lot of money involved in this whole climate change emergency issue, and there's a lot of control, and that's a big part of this problem. Not only that, if we're just talking about primarily carbon and carbon footprint, what are we going to do about China? Because China is like, what percentage?
Dad, he is right, by the way. He's spitting straight facts. A lot of people don't know this, but I think it's not, well, he's going to say it, but I think it's like 90% of the shit that gets poured into the ocean is China.
They are the major polluter right now in terms of carbon.
Great. So how are we saving the planet if I use paper straws? If China is dumping 90% of the shit in the ocean, why is paper straws important? Because remember, when Trump said that we're bringing plastic straws back, this dude lost his fucking shit.
To be one They are number one right now.
I think they have an enormous percent of the global.
Yeah.
I think it's.
Well, they're number one. I don't know what the
very
percentage.
high. It's
Look,
very high.
it's not an American issue. It is a global issue. And all I can tell you is that we are, in my view, going to see more extreme weather disturbances in the coming years than we have.
Can I just tell you something incredibly controversial? Can I tell you something very controversial? All right, let's do some basic math here. Based on the trajectory of the current birth rate in America, what will the population be in 200 years? Something wrong. Please refresh. Fuck yeah! Sorry. Bro, why? Why hath I been grokked to such a fashion? All right, let's go. Okay, lots of shit. Many factoids. All right, okay. Immigration. Yeah, that's the solution. Absolutely. Frick yeah, baby. All right. Oh my lord, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Just give me a goddamn number. All right, we're doing that again. We're making it easier. Okay. All right. In 200 years, without accounting for immigration number only. All right, 195 million. That's half, by the way. That's like half of what is now. So I think that's definitely scarier, in my opinion. Yeah, that's definitely scarier than climate change, just in my opinion.
And we're seeing them right now.
Right, but scientists don't agree. Well, this is where it gets confusing. Because scientists that are in agreement, there's all these entanglements. Whenever someone's discussing something, whether it's economics or whether it's health issues or pharmaceutical drugs, there's financial entanglements. I think we both agree with that, right?
Yep.
And
I mean, you're asking the right guy. Bernie Sanders, communist, by the way. He made, what was it? $1.5 million off Big Pharma.
I think this is part of the issue with this whole climate change emergency as well, because it's not just that we could all agree pollution is a major factor. It's a huge issue in the world today. We could all agree with that, right? I think one of the things that we have to recognize is that whenever there's an issue that everyone can agree on, you're going to have a bunch of people that capitalize on that issue, and they look to gain more money. They have financial issues that they push forward in order to capitalize on this issue.
Yeah, true.
But then also power
true.
and control. These things like they're trying to institute in the UK, where they have these 15-minute cities, this concept where you're not allowed to travel. They'll be able to look at your carbon footprint. See, that's the problem. The problem is giving people that are in power, these people that we've all discussed that have so much money and so much control over our societies, multinational corporations, giving them more control over citizens. And this is a vehicle for that. And this is what's dangerous about this whole climate change
He's just
emergency.
right. Climate fascism. Oh, guys, it's for the climate, and therefore you have to wear masks and get the new COVID vaccine and stay in the house and use paper straws and not blow your nose in tissues. You can only blow your nose in organic material, all right? Everyone needs a special pet that you blow your nose in once a day.
Because it allows these fucking creeps that have been controlling people and controlling what you do and what you say and how you spend your money. The people that are already living check to check, and you put additional constraints on them, and you make them even more scared. And then you put additional measures where you can look at their carbon footprint, you can look at the amount they travel. What do you put a carbon tax on these people?
Again, this isn't even deep state shit. This is just basic life. But once you say, okay, climate change is the biggest issue, and therefore we will be manipulating your basic freedom of choice.
Let's figure out how to extract more money from them.
True.
That's what bothers me about this climate change emergency.
Sounds to me like a climate oligarchy, Mr.
Not that we can all agree pollution is a terrible thing.
True.
Everyone should agree to that.
Agreed.
The beautiful
Pollution
earth
bad.
that sustains us and
I
all
love the
life
earth.
on this planet is being poisoned as we speak. We're killing all the fish in the ocean and sucking them out in giant numbers. 94% of all the big fish that are in the ocean are gone over the last, whatever it is.
When you go to war against nature, you lose.
Yeah, because you're a part of
Humanity
nature.
loses. Exactly.
But worshiping the almighty dollar above the mother.
Yeah, so ultimately, maybe, even though you don't want to war with nature, maybe the scientists that you're listening to might perhaps be a little bit biased. Maybe they aren't actually on the side of nature either. Maybe they're on the side of becoming fucking rich assholes like, I don't know, Bernie Sanders. He's richer than I am. What can I say? Interesting how that is. So anyway, that was he got a little bit cooked there. Like he's like, climate change is obviously a big problem. The world is getting destroyed. He says it like, incredibly cool shit, massive nuke. And then Rogan's like, wait a second, we're in a cooling period. Obviously, climates change over time. Like, sure, you don't want to destroy the planet, but like, let's not make believe everyone's dying in 10 years and using oil is a bad thing, So I think he actually cooked there. Very inconvenient discovery, showing data to Bernie Sanders. That's tragic shit. Anyway, the actual creme de la creme, the final W. I have to talk about this. Bernie Sanders glazing the media and getting absolutely humiliated.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
We can argue what the government should or should not do, but I don't think we can allow a handful of people with incredible wealth to control.
Oligarchy, it's my new favorite word. I use it all the time. Oligarchy, not like me. I'm only a multi-millionaire that can control society. It doesn't matter.
Both parties.
Well, it's dangerous.
It is.
It's very dangerous, and no one the founding fathers of this country never saw that coming.
God, I love when Joe Rogan destroys people because it's not like it's coming from some fucking intellectual genius, master debater, linguistic mastermind. This is just like your average dude, and he just makes like normal, rational points, and it destroys him.
That's right.
They made this incredible system of checks and balances.
You got it.
But who could have ever possibly saw that coming?
True.
And what I worry about Trump.
I worry about Trump and all of his oligarchy. No, pay no attention to the fact that we don't even know who was running the country for the last 4 years but Biden. We know Biden was a retard. I don't say the R word myself because I was told that I needed a virtue signal. But Biden was retarded. I don't know what's going on.
And you're right. I read, it is astounding back in the 1780s when these guys wrote the Constitution, how perceptive they were.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they said...
Their understanding of human desires and the power and all the corruption.
Exactly.
Pretty amazing.
And
Pretty amazing.
They wrote that having just fought a war and won a war against the most powerful despot on earth, the King of England, right?
Right.
And
All
I think
right.
in the back of their minds were saying, all right, we just beat the King of England,
True.
absolute power. How do you create a new country which has checks and balances so that nobody ever has that power?
Hot take. I know a lot of people won't like to hear this, but they based a lot of the Constitution on Christian ethics. Oh, no one likes to hear that one, but that is very true. That is very real. I hate to be controversial here, but yeah, how did they have such good foresight? I don't know. Maybe they were influenced by God. I don't know. Maybe.
Power.
Right.
Again. And I got to say, I mean, one of the things, and there was a lot of arguments about Trump, that worries me very, very much is this movement toward authoritarian and going after media, suing media.
All right, here we go. This is my favorite part. Him saying that Donald Trump is abusing his authority by suing the media.
Taking away the authority that Congress has.
When you say suing media, are you talking about the CBS lawsuit?
Among other things. He has,
Right, but don't you think there's a real issue with what they did?
No.
Oh my God! Do you think it's an issue what the media did? No. Wow, dude, you have no morals. You are a snake. How do you have no issue when the media lies? Like, dog, if you want to say that he shouldn't sue the media because it's bad for the media, I vehemently disagree with you. I think you're a retard. But I can sort of hear where you're coming from, even though I think you're a retard. However, to think that it's not even wrong for the media to lie? You just hate Trump. You are the fascist.
I think that there's a real issue in editing conversations to give someone an answer
Joe,
that's different than what they really answered.
Joe, I've been on 8 zillion shows, right? In my life.
All right.
Okay,
so now they can slander you?
Now, should I sue you if you ask me some stupid question that I don't like, right? Or that you do something. Should I sue you?
Yep.
What? That's not slander. Oh my God, dude. Fact check. He has not been on 8 zillion shows. Well, thank you, Chet. No, but that is not the point. This is insane. Dog, no one's saying that you should sue people for asking difficult questions. It's suing people for genuine propagandizing, manipulation, and lying and slander.
Yeah, but that's not what he's getting.
Well,
See, this is why I like Joe Rogan, because he's just being normal about it. Again, he's not some fucking hive mind, super genius, 4,000 IQ, 8 zillion chess grandmaster. He's just like, but that's not what I'm talking about. And then Bernie gets fucked.
He has sued ABC.
Yeah, because they slandered him.
He has sued Meta. He is suing.
Yeah, because they literally manipulated information and banned people that said anything pro-Republican.
The Des Moines Register. because of a poll that came out during the campaign that he...
Because the poll was obviously fraudulent, and the poll was... You don't understand. The poll that came out... Whatever, we're going to tackle these one at a time, but the poll that came out was made to make it look like Kamala Harris was winning by like 100-1 odds, okay? It made it look like Kamala was winning like 100-1 odds to demoralize Trump voters. And it was, first of all, it was obviously wrong. If you don't remember, Trump won all 7 swing states, all 7 of them, red for Republican. But they made deliberately, in my opinion, fraudulent polls to demoralize people from actually even going to vote. Everyone thought Kamala was going to win. Well, except for me, I was right.
He didn't like, all right? He is suing CBS for this Kamala Harris interview. So
the Kamala Harris interview was manipulated to the point that it made her look coherent. It was supposed to be an unedited interview, and it turns out that the entire interview was edited where they put different answers in different places, so it wouldn't make her look like a mumble-bumbling retard.
I think, I cannot tell you the number of stories done about me that were not good stories.
Right.
You're right, absolutely. Okay, how does that change anything? There are articles that are slanderous that are written about me too. Obviously not on this guy's level, but of course I get slandered in the media. Welcome to real life. Now, if I want, I could sue all of them. And I think I would be justified to do that.
That were dishonest stories. That's what a free press is about. You don't like it, you got to live with it.
What the free press is about calling someone a rapist when they're not a rapist? With all due respect, Mr. Bernie Sanders, fuck you, sir. With all due respect, fuck you. How could you say this? The media literally called Trump a rapist when he was found innocent of rape in court. They still called him a rapist. He sued them and they paid him out $400 million for slander. How could you possibly say that this is good?
All right. You do something, I'm not going to sue you, Joe.
Right, but it's not that simple, right? Like, let's
Right,
imagine.
right,
Let's
true.
not talk about Trump, but let's talk about
It's a free press. Why can't you slander people you don't like? It's freedom of press.
All right, dog.
another candidate. Let's just imagine there's someone on the right and someone on the left, and there's a concerted effort to promote this person that's on the right. And so the polls are rigged, or these are funded polls, make it look like this person on the right is winning by a substantial margin, and what this does is decreases the motivation that people have to come out and vote against them.
That's happening.
So it's fake.
By the way, that happens right now.
It is happening right now. And I think, is that part of what he's suing them about?
No, but doesn't... Look.
But isn't that what he's suing them about?
Right.
Well,
Yes.
he's suing
Yes.
ABC for one thing.
But
Answer the question, Bernie. Don't Bernie me. All right, dog.
with the Des Moines Register about the poll.
Yeah, I know the pollster there.
Was the poll incorrect?
Yeah, the poll was wrong. So what?
All right.
Guess
Right.
what?
But
Because the point of it was to manipulate voters into thinking that Trump couldn't win so that it was literally propaganda. The fake poll was made as a propaganda to get people to not vote for Trump. Because if you're going to lose anyway, why would you vote? That's literally what the point was. Because there was too big to rig, and people literally went out to vote for Trump because they felt like they were saving their country, and to be honest, they probably did. Yeah, I'll be real. So that is why it happened. But the point of the poll was to de-incentivize people from voting.
what did they know it was incorrect
No.
when they published it?
No, they published what they thought was an accurate poll.
Maybe. That's what he's suing them for. Maybe. I don't think they thought it was an accurate poll. I personally think they lied on purpose to demoralize people for voting. That's my opinion. How the fuck do you make a mistake that badly? Dude, I'll be real here. You go outside and you look at Trump rallies. You look how big those rallies were, and they weren't paying those protesters like they do on the Democrat side. Those were legitimate rallies. Dog, you talk to people in the country. Please. You think the polls were wrong that bad? Of course it was on purpose,
But that pollster, by the
in my opinion.
way, what's the name? Seltzer polls.
I should just state for the record, I don't know this lawsuit. But
what it was about.
But I am aware that in talking to people that understand polls, that some of these are politically...
All right, but the answer is yes and no. There are polls right now doing exactly what you say.
Right.
I could doctor a poll. I could talk to more conservative, more progressive people, get the results that I kind of want, right?
And they do it to motivate people or demotivate people to vote,
that's
and it's
right.
effective.
It has an impact. All right. On the other hand, this particular pollster, that's at the Des Moines Register, not a
Right, so if you admit that it has an impact, then why shouldn't they be sued for it? Oh, because you hate Trump.
huge newspaper. I bumped into them.
Trump bad, that's it.
Yeah, oligarchy, Trump bad, fascism, oligarchy, Nazism, Hitler.
Because when you run
Hitler,
Democratic
Nazism,
primaries,
that's what I have to
always
say.
they are a very, very respected pollster. Okay.
Oh, they're respected. Silly me. Why would you ever sue them if they're respected? Yeah, so
And they're a respected rapist. I don't know why you would ever say that they should go to jail. They're a very respected mass murderer. They're a respected man. So they're a pedophile, but they're very respected.
this is a retarded argument. Obviously, I'm not calling anyone a rapist, a pedophile, or a murderer, but you get my idea. It's like saying, okay, they committed a crime, but they're respected.
They don't doctor polls. So they made a mistake on a poll. It turns out they had Trump doing worse than he ended up doing. Guess what? Pollsters, honest pollsters, make mistakes too.
Yeah, but you just admit honest pollsters make mistakes too implies that they're dishonest pollsters. Like, he literally Freudian slipped right there. Did you catch that? He literally just Freudian slipped. Honest pollsters make mistakes too. Yeah, all right. Thanks, bro. Thanks, dude. We all know it's a fraud. You also know it's a fraud. We all know it's a fraud. Just come on, man. These people are such cowards.
What is the basis of his lawsuit? Like, what is he saying in the lawsuit?
I think he is saying that gave energy to his opponents.
Which it probably did.
And that it was, he's
like
saying,
we talked about.
Like you talked about, but I don't believe that's the case. There are honest pollsters who make mistakes.
Yeah, true. Ha! But mistakes by that wide of a margin? All right, dude.
Well, what about the other the other lawsuit with the conversation that they had with Kamala Harris, where they edited the answers that she had?
This one's a banger.
To make it look more precise.
60 minutes. They were suing 60 minutes.
Get ready. So the last time his argument was, but it's a reputable pollster. So I wonder what he's going to say now.
Yes.
Is, to my mind, historically, they've been around for a very long time. You know, they're not infallible. But I think you look at most objective people will say 60 Minutes has a sterling reputation.
There it is. A sterling reputation. That's what I have to say. It's a sterling reputation. How could you possibly criticize them? Why would you even sue them for propagandizing for the Democratic Party? Why would you do such a thing? Now, let me make something clear. And this is going to be very real and very honest, okay? Nothing in the world is free. So who pays for 60 Minutes? Who pays for these different companies? Who pays for them? The government pays a lot of money for these people. Now, some of it is private, but a lot of it is government funded. Where does the government get money from? Oh, from you! From you, little boy! From you! It gets it from you and from me. Yeah, me and you. Us. We are paying for propaganda. Crazy, right? So if that is the case, then that kind of sounds like fraud.
For investigative journalism. Are they wrong?
But that's not investigative journalism if you change someone's answers. If you ask her a question and she comes with a rambling answer that doesn't make sense and you edit that out and insert another answer to a different...
I'll even show it to you. So, to be clear, this is what they're talking about. And I think everyone needs to know that this happened because you need to know that you don't hate the media enough, all right? So, this was the question that she got and the actual answer. And then I'm going to show you the question that she got and how they edited it to actually air it. Because they only released this after Trump won.
That Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it's
that meant nothing. She said nothing. Advocacy and movement and advocacy. You said nothing, girl. Anyway, this is how they actually aired it.
That Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
That is a whole ass other answer. They literally took a answer from somewhere else and they put it here instead, and that is how they aired it. Okay? That's fraudulent in my opinion. They are trying to literally sell a candidate by literally putting words in her mouth. It's still a shit answer, but at least it's an answer to the question. That's fake news. So in my opinion, that's fraud. In my opinion, that's fraud. They are literally trying to launder a presidential candidate to the people. That is what they tried to do. So, yes, I think absolutely they need to get sued to oblivion for that.
Different question that seems more cogent.
Right, Joe, you're walking down, you're walking down a dangerous path. Suing media has the impact of intimidating media.
Oh, poor multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's a good thing we have Bernie Sanders, known communist, who absolutely detests the billionaires, detests the establishment, detests the big companies, right? That's what he always stood for, right? You have to realize that's what he always stood for. Oh, the poor multi-billion-dollar company. Well, what if it gets intimidated? You absolute fucking grifter. It's only because it's Trump. It's only because it's Trump. Oh my God, dude, holy shit. This is why I'm so happy that I am the media now. Yeah, me. All of us, us retards on YouTube, on Rumble, on Twitter, we're the media. We're the media. Fatal facepalm moment. This is insanity. I have never seen anything in my life. Bernie, go change your diaper. You're so full of shit. What is happening, man? Oh my God, CNN, Communist News Network. What is this?
All right, if somebody
I can't believe it. It might intimidate the multi-billionaire company. This is truly tragic.
sues you, all right?
This is why I wanted to make this video, by the way, because I absolutely love making fun of retards. Definitely subscribe, and I will continue to do so.
Let me finish, all right?
Okay.
Somebody sues you. You know, why not you? You could,
Right.
you could be sued tomorrow, right? Because you are
Yes.
doing this. You're too sympathetic to this.
Right.
And Joe, you did that. And they have a big law firm behind you. You're going to have zillions of dollars defending yourself. You know what? Next time you do an interview, you say, maybe I'm not going to go in that area. Right?
No, but
Are you retarded? You're actually retarded. What are you talking about? But you don't just get sued randomly for doing nothing, all right? You get sued for, I don't know, slandering somebody? Maybe? I don't know, supporting terrorist organizations? What else are you getting sued for, bro? Receiving taxpayer dollars to claim to be impartial and then actually just release blatant propaganda? Like, maybe that's something to get sued for. What are you talking about? You only get sued if you commit a crime. Or if people think you commit a crime. What are you talking about? Oh my God. This is the hero of the left, by the way.
But it's not that. It's editing things to make.
He's like, yeah, wait a second. You're retarded.
Is deceptive editing.
Joe,
So
you-
in deceptive editing,
I don't know,
you
and
give
I-
people a different perception of who this
Yeah,
kid
I know
is
that.
than reality.
All right, but you-
that's-
I don't want to hear what you have to say. What you're saying is logical, and I don't want to hear what you have to say. I want to present my narrative about how big, bad, evil Trump is going to intimidate the multi-billionaire companies.
but that's not objective journalism.
kill him.
That's campaigning for
Destroy
that
him.
all
person.
right, but
Would you?
Yes, that's not journalism. It's campaigning. Dog, your taxpayer dollars. We're funding Kamala's campaign. What?
Agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't
Oh, no detail. I don't know anything. I'm just a simple Bernie. I only own three mansions with my millions of dollars. Okay, but I'm a communist.
know that I agree with your analysis of it. I don't.
Really? You don't know if you agree with his analysis? Well, I just showed you proof. His analysis was right. Dude, I'd put your arm down. This looks a little bit like a Hitler salute.
No, enough.
A Hitler salute with arthritis, but a Hitler salute.
I think that's universally accepted that
Well,
that's what they did.
Then you got to tell me why he is suing ABC.
I'm happy you asked. That was the easiest lawsuit. He was found in court, innocent of rape. ABC called him a rapist. That is literally, from my recollection, that is literally the most open and shut classic defamation lawsuit in the history of time. And they paid him out because they slandered him. That's my recollection of it.
Why are you suing
well,
Meta?
let's just talk about the 60 Minutes
No,
one
but
first.
no, but it's not
we
just
could
60.
go to
And he's trying to move to the next one because he gets absolutely cooked on every single one of them.
ABC, but I'm not aware of that
Well,
one
as
either.
George Stephanopoulos said something that he didn't
Something he didn't like.
like.
I can't believe he said something that he didn't like.
Yeah, he called him a rapist, I think. Right? Hold up, we gotta do a deep dive into this one. What did Trump sue ABC for? Oh my God, what an actual grifter. Donald Trump sued ABC and anchor George Stephanopoulos for defamation, alleging that Stephanopoulos falsely claimed Trump was found liable for raping E. Jean Carroll during this interview with whatever. Okay, the lawsuit stemmed from Stephanopoulos stating multiple times on air that a jury found Trump liable for rape, when in fact the 2023 jury found Trump liable for sexual assault and defamation in Carroll's civil case, not rape. Dog! They called him a rapist!
I can't believe they said something that he didn't like.
But the point is,
What did Stephanopoulos say?
I can't.
Called him a rapist.
It was I honestly don't remember. But
I do not for a second believe that you don't remember. You just know how bad it would sound if you said it. Okay, I'm really glad that I'm actually making this video, man. It's shocking. Of course you remember. You remember everything Trump ever did bad. You don't remember the fact that he sued him because they called him a rapist?
Well, I think
I do not recall. I don't remember something about my brain. It's acting all Biden-like.
what he was saying was factually incorrect about
Yeah, he called him a rapist.
the results of one of Trump's trials.
all right, guess what? If I were to sue everybody who said things that were factually incorrect about,
Dog, what are we saying? Dude, what if someone calls you a communist but you're a socialist? To be honest, it's the same thing. But you are such a cuck for this, man. Really. Like, shameful levels of cuck.
I'd be suing people zillions of times. But Joe, what you're...
Dog, there is such a difference, man, between directly being called a rapist. They called him. What is happening?
Saying is, look, does media get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. Should you have the most powerful person in America suing media? What is the impact of that? The impact is clearly intimidation.
Oh my God. This is like actually retarded. So could they just like literally just defame everybody? You can never actually sue someone for defamation anymore because it intimidates people from defaming you? First of all, good. Absolutely you should intimidate them. Yes, intimidate them. Intimidate the shit out of them, man. Absolutely. Oh my God, bro. You should absolutely intimidate people from, just defaming random people. It's because Trump bad.
He wants to defund public broadcasting.
Public broadcasting. Yeah, that defame people. I fully support defunding public broadcasting that defames people. Yes.
NPR, why is that? Well, because they also would run critical stories of him.
Calling someone a rapist is not a critical story, bro. Joe Rogan should have said the accusation was rape. Yeah, but I don't think Joe Rogan remembered. I do think Bernie Sanders remembered.
This is part, in my view, without getting into any one case, it's part of a pattern.
Let's not get into any one case. Let's not talk about these incredibly justified lawsuits. All right, let's not talk about any of them. I don't want to get into any one case.
It says, hey, I got the power.
Fun fact, this is Hasan's stream right now. Hasan Piker, big Bernie Sanders fan, socialist. This is him stealing content, and he's gone. This is chair react. Just felt like bringing that in there. This is him literally stealing content. Charlie Kirk, I see he's stealing Charlie Kirk's content. Charlie Kirk, fucking sue the shit out of him, please. He's literally doing copyright abuse. This is actual copyright abuse. He is unironically doing copyright abuse. Dog, sue the hell out of him, bro. Please. Please, he is stealing your content to entertain 40,000 people. Bro, dude. Anyway.
Don't you criticize me. You criticize me, I'm going to sue you. So it's not whether this show...
This isn't criticism. You called him a rapist. That's not criticism. It's like, you're a rapist. That's valid criticism. No, it's not.
Was right or wrong. There are shows every day they get it wrong. It's whether you respect you and other media people to do the best that you can.
Do you think calling him a rapist was really the best that he can when he was found innocent of rape? Holy shit.
And if I don't like what you're doing, I'll go someplace else. But I don't like presidents suing media, and then it's,
I don't like presidents suing media, specifically if it's Trump. Specifically if the media is slandering him.
Threatening to impeach judges who rule against you, really?
Well, it depends. If the judge is breaking the law. Yeah. Yes! Literally, yeah. They tried to impeach Trump like 5 times. Now he's against impeachment of officials? Oh, my Lord.
Is that a concern? I think it's a concern.
I agree. That's a concern. Well, my concern is when you have media organizations that are purported to be objective.
Right, true.
And then they say things that are defamatory and factually incorrect.
Good point.
They should know that before they say it.
Oh, true.
What other course does a person have other than a lawsuit? And isn't it important that you shine the light on what is a political bias
then
where from an organization that you would hope would be objective?
Needless to say, I get attacked all the time by right-wing media, right?
Oh, no. Oh, you get attacked by right-wing media. Have any of them called you a rapist, sir? Because if so, you should probably sue them.
Every day.
Needless to say.
All right. I don't sue them.
But there's such a big difference between being attacked. Dude, I get attacked all the time. This is such a bullshit argument. It's unbelievable. Oh, my God.
So you expose
but they
him.
don't say,
then he's the president of the United States.
But do they say things factually incorrect
then
that
he
are
can get up there.
defamatory and slanderous?
If there's anybody in the world who knows how to use a microphone, his name is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump get up. You saw that program on CBS the other day? It was crap. It was wrong. And let me tell you why it was wrong.
But then they...
This is like retarded because, and the reason why this is such a bullshit argument is because you have to realize the only people watching Donald Trump speak are Donald Trump fans. The people that aren't watching Donald Trump speak are not the Donald Trump fans. The not Donald Trump fans are watching the other shit, and the other shit is slandering him. And if there's zero repercussions, they will all just keep slandering him like they actually did. Dude, every single person that called Trump a rapist should be sued for defamation. Literally, yes. Absolutely. What are you talking about? You can't just call people rapists.
They do it again and again and again.
Then you take them on.
The problem is, the more people do stuff like that, if you don't have any consequences to what you're doing, you're going to continue that path. And the most people only see that. They're not like, if you're a left-wing leaning media organization and you print something that's factually incorrect, or you say something on television that's factually incorrect, your viewers who are left-leaning are most likely not going to see Trump's rebuttal in some speech that he does in the middle of
another problem, and that is our media is becoming very divided.
Exactly.
Okay, but all I would say is,
so you don't think that,
dude, the crazy thing is, you just literally put into the search term, okay, Trump rapist. All right, so here's this one. Why are people leaving out that Trump is a court-ruled rapist? Because he's not. And it just doesn't stop. Every single one of them. It's crazy. Bro, it's crazy. Even Andrew Tate, supposedly, Donald Trump is a rapist. Oh, my Lord. Crazy. Dude, breaking. Trump is still a felon, insurrectionist, and rapist. Like, dude, this is all slander. Hey, Trump, you warmongering rapist. Dude, this is all slander. All of it is slander. Literally. All right, I'm going to post this video every day so we never forget that the 34 times piece of shit, convicted felon, and adjudicated rapist, he's not a rapist. He's literally not a rapist. Where are they all getting this news? Where are they all getting this news, bro? Like, that's how insane it is, man.
that lawsuits against that are valid?
Like, dude, there's so much slander against me. Literally so much. If I actually had the power and will to sue all of them into oblivion, I absolutely would. Like, this is wild, dude. He's such a fraud. It's crazy.
I don't think that it is appropriate for the President of the United States to be, in my view, intimidating media.
Why the fuck not? No, leave my multi-billion-dollar corporation alone. No, my propaganda slop. What if it doesn't propagandize as well?
Again, I get attacked. I'll be attacked tomorrow for probably things I've said on the show. I'll get
Hi. But I didn't slander you for anything, all right? I didn't call you a rapist or a pedophile. I didn't do any of that shit.
attacked. Then if I want to respond, I respond. I have not a president's bullet. I have a bullet. I say, you see that thing on Fox? They're wrong. And I've done it. But
I love how this guy is essentially saying slander is stupid and we shouldn't ever have slander laws. We shouldn't have laws for slander, is what he's trying to say. But only if it's slander against Trump. Like, dude, what are we talking about?
And Joe, you got to take it another way. I'll give you an example about...
All right, here's the example, all right.
Yes, we talked about corporate power.
Dog, the media is the corporate power. What are you talking about?
The owners of... CBS is owned by Paramount, big multimedia corporation, right?
Sure.
Paramount wants to be sold to, what is it, Blue Sky? Does that ring a bell?
Blue Sky's that social media app.
No, and it's another one. I'm
Right.
sorry. It's I always forget the name of it. Skydance. Thanks. Skydance is a large media corporation that
Right.
Paramount
Okay.
wants to have buy.
All right,
Okay.
fair.
To
yes.
get this merger, huge merger,
Huge
they have to
merger.
go, guess what? To the federal government. All right?
Is that like some sort of like zinger? Like, did he cook him? Like, okay.
So you are the head of CBS. You want to sell the company to Skydance for many, many billions. Do you remember what was the sale?
I don't see.
It's billions of dollars,
Okay.
to be sure. And you got to go to the federal government. And the president sues you. What do you think you're going to do?
Bro, you think he's just suing him because they're annoying? This is completely irrelevant.
It's like, what are they gonna do? The poor multi-billion-dollar merger isn't gonna succeed.
All because he did a simple thing like call the president of the United States a rapist. Yes. Consequences to your actions. Fuck around, find out. Absolutely. What are you talking about? How is this an argument at all? Oh no, the multi-billion-dollar deal won't go through because they broke the law and are having consequences to their actions. Oh my, oh no, consequences to my actions. Oh, anything but that, please. Oh.
You're going to settle the lawsuit, give him millions of dollars, and get your merger approved. All right. So, look,
I see a problem in that.
All right.
I don't. I see no problem with that, okay? Again, I don't like the government being involved in anything. But literally, absolutely, consequences are goated. If life had no consequences, shit would be anarchy.
And I see where you're coming from. We want honesty in media.
Right?
But
this isn't just dishonesty. This is slander. Right? We're talking about an actual crime, not a lie. All right? Lying is bad. But then there's criminal shit.
all I can tell you is that the way to respond to the lies, which take place every day, is to take them on, not to intimidate media. You know, we talked about the Constitution. What's the First Amendment? Is freedom of speech, right?
Right.
Dude, what the fuck is happening? How did the left become the freedom of speech losers and gooners that do not understand that there are, in fact, limits to freedom of speech? Like, for example, slander is not freedom of speech. Inciting violence is not freedom of speech. What are you actually doing?
You're right. You're sitting here. You disagree with me. God bless you. Say what the hell you want to say. All right. I'll never take that away from you.
Right.
And I'm not going to threaten you with a lawsuit.
So you think slander should just not exist? There should not be slander laws? So you just directly think there should not be slander laws at all? That's your argument, Bernie? Like, literally, that's your argument? You would have no complaints if every single media company came out tomorrow and called you a rapist? Like, but you could just address it on your platform. What is going on?
But if you start suing, hey, Joe Rogan said this. No. Joe Rogan has this. We found that.
He has no argument. He has no argument.
About Joe Rogan. I'm going to sue Joe Rogan for $100 million. Joe may not talk about those issues in the future, okay?
Well, let me get this straight. All right, let's say I call somebody a rapist, okay? And they sue me for that. And I pay out because I slandered them, all right? And it intimidates me from calling other people rapists falsely. I think that's a really good thing, right? This is a really good fucking thing. Well, yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying, Joe.
No, I agree with you. And listen, I'm not a fan of lawsuits either, which is why I never sued CNN.
True.
I've never done.
CNN lied about me over and over and over again. And they said I was taking horse dewormer, and they altered the color of my face on television.
That. For COVID, he took ivermectin, and they said that he took horse dewormer. Hold up, I need to find that clip. That's crazy. That was a crazy clip, and I thought he was suing them, actually. Look at that shit, man. Holy.
And turns out I got COVID.
So Joe Rogan posted this on Instagram, okay? And when CNN talked about it, so he was taking ivermectin, which is a human drug, okay? I don't know why this has to be specified, but it does. A human drug, all right? For humans. But it's also used as an antifungal for horses, all right? Even though it is a human drug, it is also used as an antifungal for humans. So this was the clip that he posted on Instagram, and this is how they broadcast it on CNN, calling it horse dewormer.
And turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it. All kinds of meds, monoclonal antibodies, ivermectin, Z-Pak, prednisone, everything.
So they posted this on CNN saying Joe Rogan announces he has COVID, praises horse dewormer, ivermectin. And what the fuck did they do to his face? So, yeah, that is, I think, gross. But it's not nearly as bad as directly calling someone a rapist. Okay? What they did to Trump was 1,000,000 times worse.
To make me look green.
I can testify, yay, green.
I didn't sue them. I'm not a fan of them. And my response to them was just speak out and say how ridiculous it was
what
what they were doing.
Look, Joe, anybody in the public eye, you're in the public eye, you're going to get attacked every day, right?
Yes.
All right. That's what, you're in the public eye. You don't want to be in the public eye? Put down the microphone.
Agreed.
Play pool. Whatever you want.
I agree with you.
All right. So, I mean, I just work.
On the one hand, yes, that is definitely something you could do, and I definitely get it, and it's the route that I take, because I get slandered all the time, all right? I get slandered by some random fucking moron on Twitter. Obviously, I'm not going to go and sue that guy, even though sometimes I kind of want to. Like, this is insane. I'm in shock.
But I also agree that CBS shouldn't be altering a presidential candidate's interview.
I agree too. I mean, I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to say what isn't. Okay. All I know is that 60 Minutes is a well-respected.
Well-respected. They can never do anything. They're well-respected.
Program. Do they make mistakes?
But that's not a mistake.
All right. I don't know enough about it, so I can't.
I understand.
Yeah, all right. So this is how you actually have a conversation with Bernie Sanders. He makes his point. They say, your point is wrong because the facts are wrong. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying.
All right. What else you got for me? I should get a plane and get out of here.
Yep. And then he runs off. And then he literally runs off the podcast. I should get a plane and get out of here.
You probably should. I mean,
even Joe Rogan knows he got cooked. Even he knows he got absolutely obliterated.
I appreciate your positions on all these different things.
And I don't. His positions are ass, and they're fake, and they're a grift. And he's saying it purely because Trump bad.
I appreciate, by the way, one of the, we talked about media and the bifurcation of media, right-wing people talk to right-wing people, left-wing people talk to left-wing people. I happen to think that the development of podcasts is a really positive step.
I agree.
Because I can tell you, I've been on 1 million TV shows. All right, Bernie, literally you got 7 seconds to explain the issue. Well, I can't explain it.
It's impossible.
Nobody can.
Yeah.
You're right. I like podcasts too, because now I know you're a fraud. If you would just have 7 seconds, I wouldn't realize how much of a fraud you are.
And the fact that you give people a couple of hours to sit here and have a good discussion and be a good host and trade ideas, I think that improves life in America and helps people think about things. So thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a great thing. Podcasts are great, and absolutely, it's really nice to get people to say things and express their thoughts, and now I know you're a grifter. So definitely subscribe, because I will continue calling out the retards in long form, the way God intended. Thank you so much for being here. And then he runs off the fucking podcast like a little bitch. Yeah, that's why Kamala Harris didn't go on podcasts, because she knew that people would actually hear what she had to say, and oh, that's terrifying. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you in the next one, gamers. God, I love me some multi-millionaire communists. They really hit the spot. There's just something about multi-millionaire communists that always makes me smile. Hasan, come get your boy. Come get your boy, Hasan. Yeah, he shouldn't, not fit to be a dog walker. Look at this Zionist, god damn it. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, gamers. Stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.